Hello guys, welcome to the very first episode of The Final Whistle. So my name, Antonio Mango, and today we're going to be taking a look back at the UEFA Champions League action this week. Let's get cracking, boys and girls. Right, so first game up, Dynamo Zagreb 1, Chelsea 0. What a poor start for Chelsea. Now, looking back at this game, I mean, I feel like tactically Thomas Tuchel just wasn't there. He wasn't right in the right frame of mind. The players weren't in the right frame of mind. And if we look at the statistics, Chelsea actually dominated the game pretty much in all areas and come out getting beat. Now, for me, that just sparks maybe a team cohesion. And it's just something not quite right at Chelsea. Now, I do think Tuchel, obviously, he's lost his job now. Should have been given more time. But I want to take a look at the lineups as well and where the game was won and lost. Defensively, Zagreb were absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. And if you look at Chelsea, in the midfield area, quite good. Mason Mount picking up what are arguably Chelsea's best player according to SofaScore. But if you look at Raheem Sterling, Aubameyang, there just wasn't that creativity up top. So based on that, I think Dynamo probably overperformed and Chelsea underperformed on the day, which isn't great at all, is it? I mean, come on. It's a game that they should have won, without a doubt. But they came out 1-0 defeats. And, yeah, full credit to Dynamo Zagreb. Moving on to RB Salzburg. You've got Salzburg 1, Milan 1. Goals from one of my star boys, Okafor, and I believe it was Silamekas that equalised. Now, looking at the lineups, Salzburg played a 4-4-2, their traditional formation, with 3 across the midfield. He's my boy, Dijon Kamari, in attacking midfield with 2 up top, and Milan played a 4-2-3-1 formation. So, looking back at Salzburg, I mean, what stood Salzburg as a club are, because if you're looking back at this, I mean, the majority of their players, they're young and hungry. If you look at Sewell, he's 21 years old, and he's just an absolute dime, full of quality, and he's developing like he should be at Salzburg. If you look at his heat map for this season, absolutely incredible. He just absolutely, he covers every blade of grass. And I'm quite surprised that he hasn't been picked up already, because this season, yes, he doesn't create many big chances, but if you look at him statistically, his defending's great, his errors leading to shots or goals, they're not zero in every category. And if you look at them, successful dribbles, 88%, duels won, 64%, ground duels won, 64%, aerial duels won, 67%. He's an absolute beast. And I'm so surprised a bigger side hasn't come in for him yet. Right, let's have a look at where we're at now. Oh, bear with us a moment. Just need to get back to... There we are. Sorry about that, guys. Right. So where I feel the game was won and lost was pretty much in that midfield. Now I know Dijon Kamari didn't have the best of games all round, but he's an absolute diamond. 18 years old and he's already got 3 goals and 4 assists and 5 appearances this season in the league, which is outstanding. And it's first time he's come into the senior side, so he's definitely a one to watch for the future. Now, Okafor, he's big, strong, physical, hungry, and I'm very, very surprised a team in a bigger team hasn't come in for him, because he's got all attributes to cause defenders problems. In the Milan side, I feel not playing Tonali is their biggest downfall. I think everything runs through him, defensively, creatively, everything. He starts off plays moving forward. Everything runs through him, and he's an absolute diamond. And they've just signed him up on a new 5-year contract, and it's money well spent, because he's going to be the driving force of Milan for the next 10 years. Absolutely diamond. But again, I feel Milan just didn't have their best of games. I think if that had been at home, possibly they would have won. But you never know. Salzburg are very good side at home, so credit to them on the result. Hopefully they can keep it going. Now moving on to Celtic Madrid. Finished Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3. But I don't think that really justifies Celtic's performance. I think they were very good on the day. And I'm trying to shorten this, but I don't know how, so you can see the full effect. But the game was pretty much won by Real Madrid in the second half, and their quality just shone through. As for Celtic, statistically wise, they weren't bad at all. And I think it was just difficult to keep that momentum and pressure up for the full 90 minutes. It's hard enough doing it for 60 minutes, never mind 90 minutes. But in the first half, they give as much as they got from Real Madrid. But you can see Real Madrid quality just shone through in the second half, creating more big chances. And their statistics throughout the game, they dominated possession as expected, dominated shots on target, but that was to be expected. But in the first half, I think when Celtic hit the woodwork, that was at 0-0. If they had scored in that moment, it could have been a different game, because Celtic would have had something to protect. But like I say, Real Madrid's quality just shone through in the end, and it was a standard win for them. So this is the most interesting game, and it was probably my game of the week in terms of dramatic. It was a surprise, and it ultimately cost Leipzig manager at the time, Tedesco, his job, because he's now being sacked. Marco Rose has come in, and yeah, good luck to the man. But I feel like what got Tedesco the sack wasn't really this game, it was this season. They've been absolutely abysmal this season. And I think he's trying to be too clever in getting the best out of Nkunku and Werner, when he should have just kept his style. He's changed formation far too much this season, and personnel. If he stuck to his guns, stuck to his philosophy, I think it would have worked. But I just think he tried to be too clever. As for Shakhtar Donetsk, they were absolutely outstanding on the day. On the day, they were absolutely outstanding. My boy, somebody I've been raving about for years, is Mudryk. What a player. 2 key passes in the game, 27 touches, got a goal, 2 assists. Look at that. He lost possession 12 times, but that's because he takes risks. He's direct, he likes to get at players. As you can see, dribble success 2 out of 3. Ground duels 1. It's not really his game defensively, but he's an absolute stud. He was close to signing for a couple of clubs in the Premier League, Arsenal being one of them. Didn't quite play off or unfold. But Shakhtar Donetsk, you're my winners of this Champions League week, so full credit to you. Borussia Dortmund 3 and FC Copenhagen 0. Now, Borussia Dortmund absolutely dominated the game in my eyes. A player that stood out to me was Rafael Guerreiro. I thought he was absolutely outstanding on the day, and Julian Brandt. Both of them absolutely brilliant. Guerreiro up and down. Look at his heat map, especially in that final third. He was up and down all game, creating chances for Dortmund. Managed to get himself on the score sheet as well. 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 5 tackles. He was an absolute stud on the day. And if you look at Julian Brandt, he was similar, working a lot in that final third. And 1 assist for him, 82 touches for a inside forward, 2 big chances created. What a stud. What an absolute stud. Defensively, he was very solid, winning 5 of his 8 ground duels. So credit to him. He put in a real shift for Borussia Dortmund. And that's what you've got to do in these Champions League. To win the game, you need to have more desire than your opponents. So credit to Borussia Dortmund. It was to be expected for Copenhagen to go to Borussia Dortmund and not really get a result. But I want to point out Victor Claesson. I think he's an absolute diamond and a stud, and he's capable of making a bigger step to a bigger team. But yeah, as expected, it's going to be an interesting group because you've got Sevilla, Man City as well, and this was absolutely to be expected, no doubt. Lopatelli's treading on thin ice at the moment because Sevilla, just like RB Leipzig, have made an abysmal start of this season. I think they've won one game in La Liga coming into this after 3 defeats in a row, and it's not looking great for them at all. But looking at the lineups, look at that. I mean, the 2 centre halves for Sevilla, Nianzou has made less than 10 senior appearances, and as for Carmona, he's making his first senior appearance. And who they got to come up against? You guessed it, Erling Haaland. What a way to make your debut and to start for a new club, less than 10 senior